here's Brody Brazil.
If you've already called in and left a great voicemail at my brand new phone number, 8334-BRODY, first off, I really appreciate it. Thank you. Second of all, I want you to know there have been so many to go through and choose from. I can't possibly get to all of them here on videos on the YouTube channel. So please don't take it personal. Also, please don't be discouraged. Keep calling in, and eventually I'll get to yours too.
Hi, Brody. This is Phil Barchat from Titusville, Florida. I was wondering, with the disaster that's going on in Sacramento, is it possible, or would it be wise for Commissioner Manford to talk to the Giants and the A's and talk about Oracle Park for the next 2 seasons? It's obvious that the park in Sacramento is not up to Major League standards, and the players are complaining, and there has to be a better solution. The Mets and the Yankees in 1974 and 1975 played together in Shea Stadium while Yankee Stadium was being renovated. I don't know why they can't be some agreement with the Giants just to let the A's play in Oracle for the next 2 years. Thank you for your time, and as a Mets fan, really enjoy your insight on what you bring onto your channel. Thank you.
Phil, thank you. I appreciate the call all the way from Florida. You know, I think it's rare that somebody out east would be calling and caring about our teams here out west. Usually, in just my opinion, it's the other way around. We're usually looking out east. So thank you, Phil, in Florida, for your phone call. Yeah, I don't know that anything has been easy or routine or has made a ton of sense in what the Athletics are trying to do in their transition from Oakland formerly to Las Vegas eventually. In even having something like a bridge, city, and stadium and situation to get you from point A to point B, it inherently makes things a lot more difficult. I do think you could make the argument that they have maybe chosen the most difficult route. They've also chosen the cheapest route. Sacramento basically came for free. Although, what would have happened if the team moved to their own AAA ballpark down in Summerlin, Nevada, the suburb of Las Vegas where the Las Vegas Aviators play? If you're the Athletics, why wouldn't you just want to make the jump? Instead of the hop, skip, and the jump, just make the jump. Move all your offices, move all your people, set up camp in Las Vegas, one and done. You're already down there. Now, I can also see the other side of it. Maybe your team is not fully polished yet. You don't want to make this big splash before the splash. If you get down there and you're a 100-loss team and you're making some bad first impressions, you don't ever get to do that again. But being in Summerlin versus being on the Strip, I feel like are two totally different entities and things. And if Las Vegas was really just clamoring to get the team, they would have loved to get the team already down there. So that would have made the most sense from a lot of different regards. There's also some business reasons why they chose to be more local here in Sacramento, stay in Northern California before heading out to the desert. But to the point about Oracle Park, right? Like, of the 3 choices, go straight to Summerlin, that's choice number 1. Sacramento as the bridge, that's choice number 2. And Oracle Park in San Francisco is choice number 3. It feels like choice number 2, Sacramento, is the most difficult. Yeah, playing at Oracle Park would solve a lot of the problems and issues that we've been hearing about from players, from fans, all the gripes. And I do believe that there are like 10 to 20 times more things that we don't know about, we don't hear about, versus what's been put out there by the Luis Severinos and some others, some opposition players who complain about Sutter Health Park in West Sacramento. Sharing Oracle Park, though, not really possible. If I'm being honest, I could stop the video right here, right now and say it didn't happen for a reason, and it will never happen for a lot of those same reasons. This is a huge logistical and financial ask and challenge of the Giants, even if they wanted to do this. When I say logistical, well, for example, in Sacramento this summer, and I think it's happening soon in July or August, they're going to rip out the entire baseball field and resod it entirely. The grass is not capable of having baseball games. I think it's going to be 156 times a year between the major and minor league schedule in Sacramento. Oh yeah, that's right. The AAA Rivercats are still playing all of their home games at the very same stadium. Basically, there's a baseball game there every single day, all summer long. It takes it out on a baseball field. I think they've been fortunate to a large extent this summer so far that it hasn't yet been hot. So the turf is probably holding up even better than expected. But the Giants would have to go through that too. Then what do? You have to shut down your field for a week or two, much longer than the All-Star break. The Giants don't want to have to deal with that. They also don't want to have to deal with, additional clubhouses or sharing their facilities with The A's who would be renting it out, what's the cost of rent going to be? How about ticket prices? Like, do the Giants really want to compete with their product? It's the only baseball show at the major league level in town now. Do you want a second major league team there to try and undercut your ticket sales? You don't want that. The Giants, if they did this, there would only be one way they would do this. And even if their main motive was just to satisfy the A's, get them out of the Bay Area to be the only team, the real bigger thing they would need is a ton of money and a ton of compensation to do this. If the A's said, we'll give you $100 million every year to play at your ballpark, of course the Giants would say yes. But if it's typical rent, and if baseball even called in the favor, I think the Giants would have every reason to say no. I mean, here's the analogy. You're at home, it's getting to be late on a Friday night. Somebody calls and says, you know what, I'm sick, whether they've been overserved with too many beverages or they're just not feeling well. I'm not in great shape right now. I'm going to come stay at your house. Now, a good friend would probably take them in. A lot of people, though, would just say, I'm not even going to answer that call, or I'll make up an excuse. I just don't want that situation. And that's kind of where the Giants are at. They're not obligated to that, and they kind of just don't want to deal with all the baggage that would come with that situation, even if baseball tried to force it on them. And I also think that while this was in conversation for a while publicly, I don't think it was ever considered. If it was ever going to happen, we already missed the time and the chance for that idea and that concept. For the basically full baseball season of 2023 into 4, basically when the A's were trying to figure out how they would not play at the Coliseum, but start their process of moving to Las Vegas, like it was floated out there that the A's and Giants could share Oracle Park, but I don't think the Giants ever took that seriously. I think that narrative, that conversation was more floated out there by the A's in hoping that this would be an opportunity for them and a possibility for them. And obviously, the Giants don't really want a part of that. The other part about it is, how would this be any better from a revenue standpoint, a business standpoint? This would be the same Athletics, still owned by the same person, with a lot of the same reasons that people are still tremendously upset with this team for leaving, and they would be coming back? Like, at least in Sacramento, you've got enough people who say, well, I live in the capital city, and I just want to see Major League Baseball at this ballpark for a couple years. And they don't have a horse in the race. They don't care as much. They're not, the temperature on them is not as hot about this. You'd bring this back to the heat of the moment and the heat of the frustration and the heat of relocation. You'd bring a team back to this? Who would even show up for that? Now, if the baseball team were under different ownership, and you said, all right, well, you're coming back to the Bay Area, you're going to get a new stadium in Oakland, you're going to temporarily play at Oracle Park, people would go nuts for that. Oracle Park would be equally packed for the A's and their new situation as it would be for Giants games. But because it's the same song and dance, because it would be the same ownership, no chance would anybody show up for that. It'd be more crickets than crickets. But from a player standpoint, yeah, I'll go back to this as my main thought. Of the 3 options, of the bridge options to get you to a new ballpark on the Strip, between Summerlin, probably the best choice, like logistically, maybe not financially, but logistically, if you cared about your players and you wanted that situation, probably best. Oracle Park, probably number 2, again, just because of the sharing aspect. And then Sacramento's probably number 3. But 3 rhymes with free. And ultimately, that's what won out. Let me know what you think about all this in the comments section below. Thumbs up while you're down there. Appreciate that. Helps me, the video, and the channel. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button so I can definitely see you back here next time.